So in the first video, we learned about simple interest and compound interest. And now we're going to learn how to graph them. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this question. You start with $1,500 at an interest rate of 5% per annum. Draw a simple interest graph that depicts the amount of interest over 10 years. Then use the graph to estimate the interest earned after 5.5 years. First things first with these questions is we have to draw a table of values. And that just goes like this. Years, and then we have interest earned. When you're drawing graphs, all you need is 3 points to lock down, and then you can nail everything. So let's just take 3 points. Let's take, 2. Let's take 5, and let's take 10. Right, just 3 random points. To calculate the interest, we use the formula SI equals PRN. P being the principal or the amount you invest, R is the rate, and N is the period or years, weeks, days, whichever one it is for you. So for this instance, we're going to put 1,500 times 5% times firstly 2. That equals 150. So we're going to put 150 here. Next one, SI equals PRN, which equals 1,500 times 5% times 5 years. And that equals $375, I should add. And then the last one, SI equals PRN, which equals to 1,500 times 5% times 10. And that equals 750. So we put all of these in the table. And now we can graph it. When drawing graphs, it's important to pick a suitable scale that will fit everything you need. So let's start with this. Let's just draw a random graph. Straight line here. Straight line here. We have 10 points, so we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. And then up here, our highest one is 750. So let's go up in bouts of 100, let's say. 200, 300, 400. 500. Okay, and now we can plot our points. So our first one is 2. It's about 150, so that's about here. Always draw an X. I remember in science I got drilled because I was doing dots. Make sure you do an X. Next one is 37545, and that is around, say here. Right, and our last one is 10. We have 750. About here. All we have to do now is draw a line through. Okay, so because my graph is wonky, it doesn't look straight. But here's what I prepared earlier. Damn, Andrew, you're so cool. How do you prepare such a cool looking graph? Just a bit different. All right, let's have a look at this. We've got this straight line here, our points. So we had 1 for 2, 1 for 5, 1 for 10. Right, and if we're going to finish off the question, use the graph to estimate the interest earned after 5.5 years. All we do is we come to the graph for an imaginary line up here. It's not really straight, about here. And then we draw an imaginary line across here. And so we're sitting in about 400, 410. So we'll just say from graph interest earned approximately 410. Now let's have a look at the graph for compound interest. So same thing occurs. Read the question. You start with $1,500, compounded annually at 5% per annum. Draw a compound interest graph to depict the interest over 10 years, and then do the same. Use the graph to estimate the interest earned after 5 years. So we do the same thing we've been doing before. So first we want to find the interest for year 2, and that's FV equals PV 1 plus R to the power of N. That's 1,500, 1 plus 5% to the power of 2. And that's equal to 1,654. Calculate the interest earned, all we have to do is minus the amount we've got from 2 years from the original amount. That equals $150. We put this into this table. And now just to speed this up, I'll put in the values and then we'll come back. All right, we're back. I finished up the table, then I've made this graph with ChatGPT. Also got it to make a line for me as well. One thing I want you to notice with compound interest graphs is that we draw a line from here to here. You'll notice that they aren't straight, right? They're always curved. However, simple interest graphs will always be straight lines. That's just something to keep in mind. All right, and finishing off this question says, use the graph to estimate the interest earned after 5.5 years. Again, we go 5 years here, 5.5 around here. Imaginary line up. Right, and an imaginary line across. Right, and we're at about 475 around there. Right, and then you'll just say from graph at 5.5 years, the interest equals 475. Right, and they'll be leaning on this, giving you a specific range you need to be within. That's it for compound interest graphs. Have a go at the questions, and I'll see you in the next lesson.